Okay, so they are three different type of adverbials. They are adjunct, disjunct, or conjunct. Conjunct. So let's see the three examples that we have here. Any volunteer to read example number 1?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Joanna, come on.
1. I saw him yesterday afternoon.
Very good. So, in this case, this is a case of adjunct, okay? If we have to analyze this type of adverbial. So, within adverbials, there are three types. This is a case of adjunct. Okay, so let's start by the definition of adjunct. Okay, just for you, just short and sweet, just for you to know it, an adjunct, in this case, will complete the idea of the verb. So we'll add information of the verb. As I told you before, it will answer the question when, why, where. So they are the most common one, the one that that modify the verb, that add information about the verb. So if we remove this adverb of this adverbial, in fact, okay, maybe I saw him will have sense, but not the same sense as if I add this adverbial adjunct. Okay, so the adverbial adjunct, those are the names. So you are going to analyze them as adverbial adjunct, adverbial disjunct, or adverbial conjunct. That we have seen them, but now we are going to realize about that. So adjuncts are the most frequent ones, and again, they are part of the sentence and they modify the verb. So in order to know that these are adjuncts, you are going to ask yourself, remember the question when, where, how, and so on and so forth. So remember that they are part of the verb of the sentence and that they modify the verb. Because I saw him not any day, but yesterday afternoon, you know, so I'm modifying the verb in a way by asking the question when, or by answering the question when, in fact. So adjuncts, again, remember that completes the meaning as it reads here, qualifies the verb. And if we take that adverbial from the sentence, out of the sentence, it wouldn't have the same sense. Okay, maybe the idea will be completed, but of course it wouldn't have the same sense. Okay, so adjuncts are the one that you are used to. I mean, they are a different name for the ones that you are used to. But let's see the second one and the third one. The third one, we are again, we have seen this, but maybe not with this name. Okay, let's go to example number 2. Any volunteer to read it out?
Me.
Obviously,
Silvina?
yes, and somebody else, I think.
Somebody, okay, read it out because you were the first one that appears in my screen. Okay.
Okay. Obviously, he didn't seem happy.
Very good. In general, for those who attend our expression, remember that which tone are we going to use in this case when we have these kind of adverbs? Do you remember when we have to read it out? For right. So we are going to say obviously. Okay, so when we have this kind of adverbial, we are going to read it with a for right, obviously. Okay, so this is a second case, and this is a case of disjunct. Okay, so this is a case of disjunct. Let's see why. Thank you, Sylvie. Here I have some examples, then we are going to go back to this. No, not this one. This is the third category. Okay, disjunct. Okay, just for the very beginning, have a look at the punctuation. Have a look at what caught your attention here as regards position within the sentence, punctuation. Is there any difference with the previous one? I mean,
The position within the sentence.
what happens with the position within the sentence? where is the adverbial here? Or which is the adverbial here?
Obviously.
Yes, so in general,
Obviously.
obviously. In
Obviously.
general, they are going to be adverbials in general are the most changeable words. I mean, they can be at the very beginning with a comma, you know, in the middle of a sentence, or at the very end of the sentence. Okay, so in this case, this person decided to place this adverbial of well, now we're going to say this disjunct at the very beginning. But it is okay to say he obviously didn't seem happy. He didn't seem happy, obviously. Okay, so the tone will be different, but we can place it in the middle, at the very end, or at the very beginning. Okay, so but careful, because if you place it at the very beginning, you need a comma, and you are going to read it out as a full rise. Okay, but what's the difference between an adjunct and a disjunct? Well, a disjunct in this case, well, this is very important. This is quite easy, since it provides the speaker's viewpoint. That is to say, disjunct are related to attitude. It's related to the attitude of the speaker. So disjunct are used to do so, to express the speaker's viewpoint or opinion or attitude as regards something. Okay, so they are not going to answer the question when, why, or so on. They are going to show our viewpoint, to evaluate something. Okay, so obviously he didn't seem happy, or fortunately, unfortunately. So those are examples of disjuncts, because as you can see, they they give us the speaker's viewpoint, so they are not objective. And remember that as regards punctuation in general, they go at the very beginning or with a comma, but you can place it in the middle or at the very end, but in general at the very beginning. So again, if I remove this idea, well, this is my opinion, so it will be a fact and it will have sense. He didn't seem happy, for example, but this is my opinion, obviously. So I can remove, if I want, that, but in that case, the listener or the reader will lose what the speaker viewpoint is. Okay, so disjunct are related to viewpoint or opinion. So those are those adverbial of opinion. So they are not objective. Okay, so we are not going to answer any question. Okay, so they are showing our attitude, opinion, or viewpoint as regards that fact. So disjunct again are related to attitude, to opinion. While adjunct in general modify the verb. So as you can see, it's not modifying seem, this adverb. It's modifying the whole idea. It's providing my opinion of this fact. It's not only modifying the verb seem. If I say, obviously he went, so I'm not modifying the verb went. I'm expressing my viewpoint as regards the situation, for example. Okay, let's go on to the third example. Number 3. Any volunteer to read it out?
Me.
Okay.
He isn't happy yet. He gets on with life. He
Okay.
isn't happy yet. He gets on with life.
Okay, that yet, if you read that yet as you have mentioned, you are dealing with the, not with the conjunct, but other type. I mean, the yet of present perfect, but this is not the case of yet as expressing time. What is this? Remember that we saw this not only for you, Noe, but can you think of a synonym of yet in this context?
From?
Or unless?
No. What is the function here of this yet?
He isn't happy.
Even though.
Okay, so it's expressing
contrast?
Contrast. Okay, and what type of linking word is it? Remember that we have seen 3 different types of linking words. What type is this one? Is yet.
Subordinator.
Is it a subordinator? What do you think, people? You are close, but that's not okay. It's not a subordinator.
It is a fanboy.
It's a fanboy. It's one of the fanboy. Remember that for, well, and
yet.
or yet at the very end. So we said, if it is a fanboy, what type of linking word is that?
Coordinator.
Yes, that's right. If it is one of the fanboy, remember that it was like, that's for you to remember them. But it's a coordinator or coordinating conjunction, okay? So remember that in that case, I told you coordinating conjunction. So this is a case of conjunct, okay? Expressing contrast is not the same as I haven't seen him yet. So that yet is another type, is expressing time. But it's not a linking word in that case. If I say, for example, I'm going to write this example out. So careful, because it depends on the context. If you have some doubts related to the function of yet, remember that I have uploaded when the integration task, the integration task for the winter recess, you have the difference of the difference of yet. But let's analyze them. He's sorry, because he hasn't. We are going to use this. He hasn't arrived. Well, he hasn't arrived yet. But is this yet, in this context, is this yet a coordinating conjunction? Is it a linking word? No, of course it's not.
No.
Is it present time? Okay, so, but this one, you have 2 independent clauses, as you can see here, joined by this coordinating conjunction expressing contrast. Okay, you can replace it by but if you want. Okay, so let's go on. So this is an example of a conjunct. Okay, remember that you have seen this because we mentioned, it's just for you to understand why it's a coordinating conjunction and why it's a subordinating conjunction. This word conjunction comes from the word conjunct. Okay, so this is an example of an adverbial, and this is a conjunct. Let's go on to the explanation. So again, you can replace these conjuncts. They are used, so conjuncts are used to join, so they are linking words. As you have noticed, the previous one were not linking words. I mean, for example, honestly is not a linking word, or very fast is not a linking word, but this one is a linking word. So we have seen, so
Sure.
yes.
In the homework you gave us for winter recess, it had a place, a text about conjuncts, but it was talking about transitions.
That's
and
right.
that they were not interessential. But this is a different type of conjuncts, right?
Okay, yeah, yes and no. Okay, transitions are conjuncts too, but a different one since they are outside the sentence. Let's see the example. So you can do, remember, conjuncts are all the linking words. So they can be coordinators, subordinators, for example, well, because, when, while, etc. Okay, so they are linking words. They are subordinators. Remember that, yeah, the fanboys, that is to say, the coordinators and the subordinators are intersentential because they are inside the sentence. As you can see, this yet is inside the sentence. I mean, this is a sentence. You have the capital letter, a dot. So the coordinator, the linking word or the conjunct, as you can see, they are synonyms, is inside the sentence, and this is a case of a coordinator. But we can use, for example, a subordinator, as you very well mentioned, Silvina, by using although. Although he gets on with life, comma, he isn't happy. But in that case, it's inside the sentence too. But what happens if I have another sentence, that is to say, as you have here, he is unhappy, however, he gets on with life. So in this case, however, as it is outside the sentence, why is it outside the sentence? Because you have here an idea, a sentence, but as you can see, capital letter, dot. However, comma, dot. So you have two different sentences joining by this however, and it's outside the sentence. Why is it outside the sentence? Because you have this comma. It's not inside as here. You can say, yet he's unhappy, he gets on with life. It's grammatically a mistake, or it's grammatically wrong. But, however, is a conjunct because it's a linking word. Another type, of course, but a linking word. So, remember that the linking word that we have seen, all of them, it doesn't matter if it is a coordinator, a subordinator, or a transition, are examples of conjuncts. Okay, and those are the differences between adjunct, disjunct, and conjunct.